Hey guys, in this video today, I'm going to be talking about my round at Whistler Golf Club. I end up shooting a 4 under par 67. I do believe it's a par 71, but I do make a bunch of birdies as well as a couple bogeys. And when we get to the bogeys, I am going to stop and break them down because I do think there's a couple learning experiences there for myself, mostly because I didn't necessarily make bad swings. I can live with bad swings, but I made a couple tactical strategic errors that led to those bogeys. So I think there's a good way to kind of break them down to learn going forward. And then the other thing we're going to be talking about is the whole Whistler golf experience. Now, people view Whistler as this snow, ski, snowboarding destination, but it's actually a really good spring, summer, fall destination. This place is great for golf. There's so many outdoor activities, but the golf courses here are honestly really good and definitely worth your time if you are any bit intrigued. Now, at the beginning of the video, you saw that this golf course is going to cost you about $210 peak rate. So that's the max you're ever going to pay here, kind of spring, summer, on a weekend type situation. And I'm not going to get into the fact that if that's too expensive or not. Like, I think golf in general is too expensive, but at the end of the day, supply and demand, more people are golfing. Those tee times are getting booked every single day. I don't know about you, but my home golf course at Meadow Gardens is booked literally almost every day till like 7:30 p.m. It's very frustrating. So technically, they can charge whatever they want because people are going to golf regardless. But I think the Whistler golf experience is definitely something you should do. The unique part about this golf course in particular is it's right in the village. You can essentially go from your hotel room across the street to the practice area or the golf course in about 30 seconds. So I think that's a nice, unique touch that most golf courses don't really have. You kind of have to drive a little bit to get there. But this one is right bang smack in the middle of the village. And it's kind of cool because throughout the course, you're going to see people biking on the roads. You're going to see pedestrians kind of walking through. There are a few houses kind of here, but it's not as many as Nicholas North. But it's a really cool vibe. I like it, and it's definitely a golf course I recommend. I do really like Whistler Golf Club. I like Nicholas North the best. I think that's my clear number one. Whistler Golf Course is number two, and then Fairmont Chateau is number three. It's a cool golf course. It has potential, but I just don't think it's as good as the other two. This golf course in particular is always in good shape. Nicholas North is always in good shape, but Fairmont tends to be, because it's on the mountain, it's kind of subject to a trickier terrain to deal with. So the conditions are either kind of really wet or really burnt out and baked. But Whistler Golf Club is always in good shape. I love how the greens are always a little bit firm, so you can't necessarily just go pin hunting the whole time. Because these golf course, the greens here at the course slope back to front. So if you're going to err on the side of missing short, because it's a very tricky pitch shot if you're behind the green, because it's always going to be a downhill chip. So just make sure if you're going to make the mistake, miss a little bit short. Now, we're getting into my first bogey of the day. Now, it's 385 yards. It's a really short hole, hitting a 4-iron off the tee. And I'm going to have about 135 yards or so to this pin. The pin is tucked on the right side, really close to the bunker. And the shot pattern miss people tend to have is short right or long left. So seeing this pin short right here, I should have aimed a little bit more left to accommodate for that miss, essentially, especially seeing it as a little bit into the wind, so it can be a little bit tricky to get that distance right. So in reality, I didn't necessarily make a bad swing. I just didn't hit it hard enough. It hit the wind, but I should have adjusted my aim point to a little bit more middle of the green to accommodate for that kind of miss. So that's something I can do better in the future. If I don't have like a really good number, if I don't have a really good like location to that pin, like there's nothing wrong with just hitting it to the middle of the green, two putting, forgetting about it, and moving on. You're never gonna remember the time when you hit it to the middle of the green, you two putted from 25 feet and you leave. But you're always gonna remember the time you made a stupid swing, you laid it in the bunker, and now you're not gonna get up and down for par. So boring golf is almost always the answer. So if you don't have a good number, just make sure you hit it to the middle of the green, just take your two putt, move on. But thankfully, a couple holes later, got a par 5, pretty reachable. Par 5, end up ripping a 2-iron from about 250. Again, greens are firm, so I'll kind of run it up there. Nice little 2-putt for par. But unfortunately, I am going to bogey this next hole. Again, another short par 4. This one's 334 yards, and the tee shot was quite poor. I ended up blocking it a little bit right. Now, my lie is a bit of a jumper. I have about 130 yards down the hill into the wind. Now, again, I do not want to make the mistake long. So I'm going to hit a shot that's I know is going to end up a bit short. And honestly, I'm okay with that. Okay? I'm perfectly okay with that. I'm fine being 30 feet. So I actually made a better decision on the second shot that I did on the couple holes prior. But where my mistake is I three-putted, unfortunately. And those happen. It's fine. But the way it happened wasn't good. I know I'm into the wind. I know I'm uphill. I know I have a long putt. I know it's going to be slow. So I failed to take into account all those factors before hitting my putt. I should have realized it's uphill, going to be slow. It's into the wind, it's going to be slow. Give it a little bit more extra. And I left it like 6 feet short and ended up missing that one. So that was a wasted shot there. So that's something I really want to make sure I clean up in the future. But it's fine. I ended up birdieing the next hole anyway. So we're going on a bit of a birdie, bogey kind of scenario right now. So we're going to get a little bit more stability here in the next few holes, which is great. This stretch here is actually quite good. I love this stretch from holes 14 to holes, essentially a hole 16 are really good. Actually, no, this is hole 12. At this point too, I teed off a little bit later in the day, and the one thing you need to know about Whistler is the sun is going to go down a little bit quicker than certain areas because, as you can see in the background there's mountains everywhere. So it's going to get dark a little bit quicker than most other places, so just accommodate for that. So we're a little bit of sense and urgency here, so we are going to be playing a little bit quicker here. There are a couple ladies in front of us, and they're about 2 holes behind. So at this point, I kind of made the decision that I'm going to play a little bit quicker to try to pass them, because at the whole point I was like, oh, who cares? I'm filming, I can take my time, it's fine. But at this point I'm like, I'm probably not going to finish. So luckily here they let me through on the par 4 14th. I didn't laser the flag at all. I just kind of grabbed an 8-iron and went. Ended up being 180 yards. I hit a good one, but it just wasn't enough club. So I'm going to end up paring this hole here, but that would have been a scenario where I could have easily bogeyed. I could have made a mistake. I should have realistically taken a little bit more time and hit the shot. Even if I took another 20 seconds to laser the flag, make sure I'm getting the right number, hitting it there. But because I got up and down, I don't really remember it. But the fact that I'm rewatching it now, I could have easily made a mistake and made a bogey there, made a bad swing. So that was kind of a learning opportunity there. So again, if you can learn anything from this, give yourself enough time to process every variable, every kind of situation, and give yourself the best chance of success when it comes to hitting a good golf shot. So this hole here, 460 yards, is an absolute beast. It's downhill. Typically don't usually hit driver on this hole because you need to lace it up the left side because the stuff on the right comes in quick. But there was actually a group of people kind of on this hole over the tee box, kind of has this overlooking area where people that are on the sidewalk can walk through, and every single time I played here, people are just watching you. So you can get a little bit nervous there if you don't like people watching you, but these people were egging me on to hit driver, so I ended up full sending it, hit by far the best drive of the day. That one was absolutely nuclear, ended up having about 100-something yards in, and hit it to like a few feet, made the putt, and we're back to, not back, but we're now at 3 under par, and at this point here too, I'm just, again, there's nobody behind me. You can see people on the tee now. Look at that one guy on the left where my hands are. He's just standing with his hands right there, waiting. These guys, they cut from another hole, and then, because they wanted to finish, they cut from like, I don't know, hole 11 or 12. They cut the ladies behind me at point, they're now playing quicker because they want to finish too. But those guys completely cut in front of them, and they were like looking at me like, can you hurry up? We're trying to get in here, which I thought was quite rude, to be honest here. But at this point too, we got another variable. The little breakfast burrito at the turn here is kind of fighting back, and I do need to kind of go to the washroom here. So I'm going to hit this shot, and this putt, I just kind of rushed it. Hit the flag is still in there. I'm just going to hit it and just start walking. I just want to get the 2-putt and leave, and it somehow managed to just drip in. So I ended up shooting a 400 par 67. If you guys like this video, please comment, like, subscribe. I appreciate you if you're still here. Cheers.